So, you said that you gained all of your knowledge from God and the Bible, right?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm appreciating your attempt to question me, but you're breaking up. Would you try it one more time, please?
You said you gained all of your knowledge from God and the Bible, right?
Everybody does, sir. All the treasures of wisdom and knowledge are hidden in Yeshua HaMashiach alone. There's nothing that you can know outside of the mind of God. What's your question?
How do you know that to be the case?
Because what is truth? What's your definition of truth, and where does that come from?
Justified, warranted belief, I think, would be a knowledge, so how we know things.
No, justified true belief would be
I
knowledge.
don't think we could have that. I don't think that exists.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you know that you are muted right now? Need you to think about this real long and hard, sir. Do you know that you're muted right now? Do you have justification? That's a chain of evidence to prove something that is true in the real world in real time. Is it true that you're muted right now, sir? See, do you know that you're muted right now? In order for you to know that you're muted, it must be justifiable, it must be true, so you can believe it and trust it. So, do you trust that you are muted right now, sir?
Well, I think based on the evidence. Okay.
I didn't ask you that, sir. I didn't ask what you think. That's a yes or no answer question. Do you know that you are muted right now? So when I unmute you, I want a yes or no answer question. Do you know that you are currently muted? When I unmute you, I want to know. Did you know that you were muted?
Yes, I know that I was muted, but not to your definition of knowledge.
Aha. So now you're going to say, yes, I know I was justified, truly believe that I was muted. But wait a minute, it wasn't justified, true belief. I'm sorry, sir. You have contradictions, and contradictions are always wrong. Can your car both be in the parking lot and not in the parking lot at the same time in the same way?
No, that's not what I said. What I said wasn't a contradiction.
Have a nice day.
Hey,
Next.
Mr.Batman, I have a question for you.
I have an answer. Go ahead.
The argument for the God of the Bible being the only true God.
Because there is only one all powerful God, one creator God, and only one God and his revelation that gives us prophecy. Do you know about 75% of the Bible is prophetic? That God tells us what's going to happen in
Oh,
advance? And because he does that, he's the only God that does that accurately, consistently. Such as in Genesis chapter 5, where he gives us the genealogies listed there. You have Adam. Adam means man. Adam had a son. His name was Seth. Seth means appointed. And then Seth had a son. His name was Enosh. Enosh means mortal sorrows. And you go down to Mahalalel. That's a mouthful. That means the living God. Then you go down again a couple more generations and you get Methuselah. Another mouthful, but his name is a prophecy all on its own. His name means his death will bring. His death will bring. His name means that when he dies, the great fountains of the deep will be broken open, and that's the flood of Noah. And Noah's name means comfort or rest. So when you look at these names in chronological order, here's what you get. You get the gospel. Remember, Adam means man, Seth means appointed. It says, man is appointed mortal sorrows, but the living God shall come down teaching his death will bring. Whose death? The living God's death will bring. The despairing comfort and rest. This is in the genealogies listed in Genesis chapter 5. You can't tell me that a bunch of Sadducees and Pharisees who had no idea about a dying and rising Savior was going to put in there this gospel message long before the gospel message was even known to mankind.
all right. So it seems as though this argument is circular. You know why a circular argument is not sound
I'm sorry,
justification
sir.
for
I don't have
something? No, sir.
circularity. I
You're
have
you're
what's called
talking
a
over me. You're
dictator.
talking over me. I wasn't finished speaking.
Yes, you are finished now because you're saying I have circularity, which I do not. You have vicious circularity. If your argument is circular in any fashion or form, you're done. That means you don't have any truth because you can't know any truth outside of your circularity. Let me give you an example. If you're going to sit there and tell me that your reasoning that your senses are valid, and you're sensing that your reasoning is valid. See how both of those are involved in that little circle jerk? Doesn't work. You cannot know anything out of that vicious circularity. I don't have that, sir. I have a king, and that king dictates reality, morality, and truth. I don't get to send it back to him and say, God, I don't believe this. No, sir. I either accept what he dictates as reality, morality, and truth, and then I get to live in the real world knowing moral statements to be true. And if I don't, guess what happens? I live in a fantasy land of my own making, not knowing why things are true and not knowing why it's wrong for you to be a pedophile either, sir. So once again, I don't have vicious circularity. You do. Well, hello there, Mr. Transvestite Tanner. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, Mr. Batman. I'm just making sure that there are not people down here raiding you.
Oh, it happens. It happens. Happy Hanukkah, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very
Hi,
much.
Mr. Batman. Can I ask you a question?
Happy coming Christmas to you.
Mr. Batman, can I
I
ask you a
actually don't
question?
celebrate Christmas anymore, sir. I will tell you this. This is the first time in 3 years that I really miss it. You know, the first couple years I was super excited about, doing something new and following the Torah perfectly. But for some reason this year I really miss it.
I have a question for you.
I think
Yeah,
it's the being trapped inside all the time.
Yeah, being trapped inside can be a bit of a futz. I'm always tossed up between, do I put
Because it's a pagan holiday. Do you mind getting a little closer to your